Hey everybody, it's your girl Sherry. Welcome back to another episode of Alleged Ashley podcast. Today is Monday, which means it's Bravo Monday. If you haven't, guys, go ahead and share, drop in these comments, slide in my comments. Let me know what you're thinking about Real Housewives of Potomac, Married to Medicine. And if you haven't yet, please come join the Actualizer family and subscribe. We are currently still at 5.37K subscribers. And let me just say this. I am thankful for each and every one of you. I love all of you. Thank you so much for joining the Actualizer family. But I need my Actualizers to share with the masses so we can keep growing. I would love to see us reach our goal by Christmas. That would be a great Christmas present. So share, share, share. And if you're new, welcome. Go ahead and subscribe. You won't be sorry. So, like I said before, today is Bravo Monday. I have been doing Real Housewives of Potomac and Married to Medicine. It's just a great time to be a Bravo fan, isn't it, guys? I mean, premiere after premiere after premiere. I'm catching up on some of the panels and things that went on at Bravo Fan Fest. So that's out there on Peacock for everybody to peruse. But I haven't started recapping yet, but Southern Charm, they started off last Thursday. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to add that one to the roster. You guys slide in the comments and let me know what you think. Do you want to see a Southern Charm recap? Because I watch it. I'm a Southern Charm fan. This season looks like it's going to be a good one. And so I'm thinking I'm going to add it to the roster. But more to follow. Guys, slide in the comments and let me know what you think. I put out a poll question, and a lot of you guys did respond on who you were rocking with Southern Charm as far as Craig and Austin kind of setting their boundaries with Shep. And I was kind of asking, were you team Craig and Austin, saying with the way that Shep how things went down at BravoCon, his shenanigans. And guys, it wasn't just BravoCon with how he handled himself. Apparently, this had been his behavior for years. But they kind of, after BravoCon, basically cut him off. And so the poll question was, were you team Craig and Austin as far as boundaries, or were you team Shep that believed that just because you fall off, that's when you need your friends the most, and cutting someone off may also be not the friendliest thing to do? When I asked, you guys answered, and as of last, and I will check it right now, Team Craig and Austin definitely was winning. And so right now it's looking like, yep, Team Austin and Craig, 67%. And so most of you are of the opinion that they were well within their rights to set boundaries. And so we'll talk more about that. Today, though, is about Real Housewives of Potomac and Married to Medicine, just a little more so Potomac today. And I'm going to try to put down some timestamps so you can get to the one that you really want to hear about if you're not here for both. So at any rate, let's talk about Real Housewives of Potomac. I know some people are saying that it's a snooze fest, and, most of us real Bravo fans, though, are going to rock with it regardless, right? I'll say this episode, there's a few things I wanted to talk about. So I wanted to recap it today. And then I'm going to give you just a quick little thoughts on Married to Medicine. Last night's episode was what I consider a filler episode. So it wasn't a whole lot going on. But I will talk about it on the tail end of this recap. So Potomac opens up with Gizelle and her girls. Y'all, I found this conversation to be extremely important. So Giselle's father, as we know, sadly passed away. And he passed away after finding out that he had a brain tumor. And it actually took him down really fast. I mean, within a week or so after he found out his diagnosis, he had, went down and passed away, sadly. And with that being said, she's come to find out that something kind of shady went down with his will, that he had had one initially. Somehow that will got disposed of. He has remarried, and since then, when he was on his sick bed, another one was put in place at a time when he was not able to even sign or consent to any kind of um, changes to a will or a new will, if you will. Gizelle is fighting that, but she's having that conversation with her daughters, and the conversation comes up. As you know, their father is Pastor Jamal Bryant, and he has now remarried, and come to find out that he has put he has set aside for his girls should something happen to him in trust. So it is in trust for them. But we find out in this conversation that Gizelle, for those reasons, says that she doesn't see herself marrying someone. But one of the twins tells her, if dad can put his money in trust for us, you could do the same, so that you could, if you found someone that you'd be happy with marrying. There was that. But the reason why I thought that conversation was important is because a lot of us found ourselves in second marriages, some more third, fourth, whatever. But once you remarry and you have children by someone else, those things are important to take care of. So that's all I'm going to say there. That's what I took from that scene, and that's how it opened up. Ciao. Can we talk about TJ and Stacey? That was our next scene. Y'all slide in my comments, please, and tell me what you're thinking. Okay, I'm going to give you my thoughts. Initially, I said that, listen, Stacey, TJ is just not that into you. As a matter of fact, I'm not saying anything that we haven't all said or thought, that TJ very well may not be into women, period, or perhaps into both men and women. But now, okay, first of all, the scene is she's at her crash pad in DC, and TJ is there, and he is making her pizza. They're spending some time together, and he is still upset about how things went at Dr. Wendy's birthday party. Now, I didn't recap that episode, but of course I watched it, and when they were at the party, Stacey was busying herself with, getting a chance to mingle and talk with others, while she left TJ to do the same with some of the men. Most of there was husbands there. Eddie was there. Ray was there. There were men that he could talk to and mingle with. I mean, lots there. So she thought he was okay. He made mention when they all came back to the table that she had left him, and she was thinking he was fine, and he was like, yeah, get it together. And then he said, you've been warned, or I'm warning you. Now, that's problematic on many levels. Number one, warning her about what, TJ? Number two, I mean, really? You're that needy? You're at a party? You're an actor. You don't know how to work a room? Sir. And then number three, y'all, are y'all just believing this relationship, period? Because the crust of the conversation between the two, when he's making the pizza and pouring the little juice you give the kids and the little squishy thing, honey, you pop the top and drink it, that real sweet, but sweeter than Kool-Aid, child. He puts it in a wine glass for her. I'm not believing their relationship at all. To me, it's giving, let's get on the show together and use this for a storyline. Stacey is way smarter than she is letting on. Okay. You don't work for QVC for years and navigate in the spaces that she's navigated in and are that naive. I like what she brings to the show. So let's be clear there. I think Stacey's great for the show. I like her energy. I like her classiness. And I even like her naive ways, or her shtick, if you will, of being the naive, straight-laced, oh me, oh my, I get it. That's her thing. And I like that as an addition to the ladies. But I don't believe her and TJ. I don't. Y'all slide in the comments and let me know, what are your thoughts there. But she does ask him, or she does make mention of when she had a conversation with the ladies after she had her mediation between her and her ex-husband. And Ashley also had her mediation with her and Michael Darby. But Ashley was saying that she really didn't think that Stacey needed to be in anything serious right now, fresh out of separation. And, um, so she made mention to TJ, would he hang in there if she decided to see other people? And he basically said, that he cared about her and I guess he'd be okay. But he has said he also wouldn't cut himself off from other options either. Now, again, I think it's the coy thing. You see how he said, I wouldn't cut myself off of other options. It's always that it's just ambiguous. I'm not going to say, yeah, I'll see other women too. Or, it's kind of like, so that leaves us up to decide. I think that's on purpose. I think the man is gay, but I don't care one way or the other. What I do care about is I think like it's not real believable to me at this point. But we'll, y'all let me know what you think. We'll play along. Excuse me, y'all. But she wants him to care. She wants him to say, oh no, I'd be sick or so if you dated other people. Please don't. That's just not what he's giving. Child, that was that scene. Okay. Over to Dr. Wendy. So Dr. Wendy and her sister are preparing to meet her mom. And she's going to finally let her mom know that she has decided to leave her position at Johns Hopkins University. Dr. Wendy is going to pursue some unconventional things. Basically, this scene is giving that she is going to let her mom in on the fact that she's going to spend more time with her children, and she wants to further pursue her show, The Dr. Wendy Show. Wendy's 40 years old, okay? But listen, I get it. She lets us in on the fact that in Nigerian culture, you are to be a doctor, an attorney, or maybe an engineer. But is that so much different in homes that want the best for their kids and say, you're either going to go to school or you're going to go in the military, you're going to go do something. Okay. Maybe that's just all homes, Nigerian, African American, that's the way I grew up. But at 40 years old, to be scared to tell your mom that you've decided to pursue other things is kind of silly, but I get it. It's a respect thing. You could say it's cultural, but I mean, it's respect. Her mom does seem a bit overbearing, but all in all, she just says, look, nothing's going to take away your 4 degrees. We know Dr. Wendy has 4 degrees. She let us know that on her first season on Potomac, honey. So we're clear. That's not going to take the doctor off to Dr. Wendy if she is no longer teaching at Johns Hopkins University. So ultimately, when she tells her mom, it goes over just fine. And she just wants Wendy to be happy. And she knows that no matter what she does, she's Dr. Wendy with, count them, guys, 4 degrees. Okay. All right. We also then go over to Ashley and Gizelle, and they have a speed dating event. Biggest takeaway from that, y'all. Cute scene. Lots of guys. Clearly, Gizelle has a type. Was it just me, or did y'all know as soon as Nam sat down, that was her guy? I knew, honey. I knew. And sure enough. So much so that I don't know if y'all caught that tea, but on the next episode, when Karen's going to throw her love party for the next episode for next Sunday, she brings none other than Nams with her to the love party. So we're going to see what goes down with that. But Ashley ends up going on a date with a guy named Josh, 30 years old. He was a vice president or doing some sort of operations for sports, and he's 30 years old, survivor of thyroid cancer, and seems to be mature for his age. Probably a good fit for Ashley. Maybe too good, because Ashley kind of all over the place. But nonetheless, the takeaway of that scene is they did some speed dating, and they both ended up with 2 guys that they are at least going to go on a date with. And so there's that. From there, we go over to Karen and Ray. And this is probably as much as Karen has admitted about what was happening the night that she had a DUI. She does let us in on the fact that she was an emotional wreck that night. She was not in a good place with her husband. She did not feel supported. You know, when Ray went through his tax issues, Karen rallied behind him. They were a united front. She held her man down. And, you know, since then, she's had loss, a lot of loss. She lost both of her parents relatively close together. She was dealing with that. And just, you know, needed him. They keep flashing back to the scene where the therapist is giving them some couples counseling, and Ray is asked the question if he loves Karen, and he basically is not given a strong yes. It's a I think so, which that's embarrassing. So, needless to say, y'all, they were going through it. But we find out that Ray, since her DUI, her second DUI, has been very supportive. He has been chauffeuring her around, making sure she doesn't have to get behind the wheel, and there with her when she had to go to court, and has been very supportive. And so she does talk in her confessional about the fact that they've been married. It'll be at that point, they were about to approach their 28 years. They've been married 28 years, and that they worked very hard at their marriage. Kudos. It's not easy. It is work. So I thought she's still not really taking her accountability in all of this, but I think, y'all, for now, that's probably about as much as we're gonna get out of the Grand Dame regarding that incident. But she does let us know that, look, she was not in a good headspace. She made a poor decision, very poor, and that's about as much as I've seen her really allow herself to be vulnerable about that, other than the moment with her cousin. So I don't know, y'all. Maybe there's still hope that we'll get that accountable moment from Karen, but we'll just have to keep watching and see. And from there, y'all, we see Mia. Mia is meeting Kiana or Kay, and they are talking about Mia and Gordon. Kiana helps out her fiance, Greg, who has a business that is an advocate for mental health. She kind of stuck up for Mia at the dinner when the ladies were coming at her a lot about her situation with Gordon. And because of that, because as we know, honey, they didn't start off so hot on the Charlotte trip. They had some words with her, Mia being slick at the mouth about Kiana dating street pharmacist, and all that kind of mess. And, you know, just being slick. You know, Mia can go low, honey. She has a slick mouth. Let me just say something real quick before we get into that. Because I did a recap a few weeks back. If you guys go back and look at some of the replays, when I talked about how it was hard for me to watch Mia using Gordon's mental health, you know, just kind of as her excuse, as her storyline. And it seems like it just, a lot of people have said this, and I'm going to second it. Mia is giving Love and Hip Hop. It's giving very, very declassing of the show. Not the Real Housewives of Potomac, where the classiest of the franchises. However, let's be clear. You flaunting your boyfriend around your now still currently married husband. And I mean, and let's be clear also, it wasn't that her and Gordon had the most conventional of marriages. They openly talked about inviting other people in the bedroom, all kinds of foolishness. And I think we've gotten some, you know, some looks into Gordon's manic states that particular episode when he was there with the women. They were on a trip, and the whole tongue action thing towards Karen was certainly disgusting, but it showed him in his heightened sense where he might have been acting a little bit out of character, or a little bit I don't know, just a little manically hype, maybe. But, you know, here's the thing, y'all. Whether you have a diagnosis or not, how many men and or women is going to be graciously happy about their soon to be ex, or, whether you want that or not, bringing someone else around their children, someone else around them, insisting they all be a blended family, particularly if this said person was someone that they had been unfaithful with during your marriage. So it's giving Mia, you tried it. It's giving, you want to keep pulling out of your pocket his, you know, uh bipolar 1 diagnosis every time he is unhappy with the fact that you're dangling a little ink in front of his face. Yeah, I said a little ink. And y'all, I just find it to be infuriating. And look, I get it, Mia's drama right when last season was literally unbearable to watch. She kind of came in at the last minute and it raised our antennas and we were like, whoa. It was a raw, real moment for them. Hence got her the first chair and at the reunion. And, I'm assuming Mia thought then that she had to keep going with this storyline. But listen, I speak for myself and not all Bravo fans, but I speak for a lot that I've seen that I communicate with in all the fan groups. Mia, no ma'am. No ma'am. What you're doing to your children, what you're doing for a storyline, none of us require all of that to be entertained. It's disgusting. I digress. I'm going to get back to the recap. She meets Kiarna, and Kiarna is telling her, which is something that we all basically are saying, that, she feels like, because before Kiarna even comes into the restaurant they're at, she's on the phone with Gordon. And, Kiarna is basically like, look, girl, at this point, this is not healthy. Gordon probably feels, emasculated by the fact that you're dangling ink, your relationship with ink in front of him. This man's around the children. It's just not healthy. It's not healthy for you guys to live in the same apartment building. He probably, wants to be back with her. And she then lets Kiarna know that he said, hey, can we stay together and just not be intimate? Would Ink be okay with that? Just so much foolishness, y'all. I can't. It's a lot. Basically, Kiarna says that, she had some things, some tips, some tools, if you will, that she would get from her man Greg and would share it with Mia. But she basically is saying, you can't juggle both men, and then, and again, you can be in it with Gizelle or not, you can like her or not, but Gizelle was right too with saying that, she's not protecting her children. She's not. And how about y'all last episode when she tried to come for her girl, saying that her girl snuck men in while they were in the DR? Now listen, Mia, I'm not a Gizelle fan, but now you went for the babies. Now, if you talk about mine, I'm coming for you. So when she comes for you and Karen comes for you at the reunion and you get obliterated, you heard it here first, second, third, because I'm sure all of us YouTubers and those that recap these shows are going to tell you the same thing. Jizzy's coming for you, ma'am, as she should. Really? Anyway, Mia, like I said, decides to give her some tips. Then the next episode is just Ashley's date with Josh. They go play beer pong, and that's when we find out that Josh is a survivor or is currently in remission with thyroid cancer. Seems like a nice guy. Doubt it'll go anywhere. But there's that. And then we get back to Mia and Gordon. Mia is baking cookies with the kids, and Gordon is stopping by. Now, the reason I named this episode is You Can't Marry Mr. Ink is exactly why I'm so disgusted with this whole situation. And I say it all the time, whether we're talking Potomac or Beverly Hills, when Dorit and saying, "Oh, we're not telling the kids that we're not together." Or we talked about it on other shows, how they think that kids are so much smarter than a lot of these parents are giving them credit for. Stacey not telling Arabella, her daughter, that her and her husband are going to get divorced. Whether you believe it or not, they can pick up on your energy. They can pick up on the discord. They can pick up on the fact that something's not right. And if you watch that scene with her and the children, those children know, well, we find out, they realize that something's not right. And Mia asked, them about the divorce. And their son says, no, I'm not happy. No, he would be upset. He said it felt like a death. And then her daughter, Juju, kept whispering to Gordon about what if mommy marries Mr. Ink. And then she tells Mia that she doesn't want her to marry Ink. And she basically says, look, you and daddy, got to work that out. You get what you get, and you got to work it out. And Juju is 7. And so I say all of that to say the kid's already affected. So her saying I'm protecting my children's innocence, where? Ma'am, your son busted out with mommy and daddy sitting in a tree. Kissing. First comes love, then comes marriage. Mia, those babies are traumatized. You're not hiding anything. Ink is staying with you. They know their daddy's supposed to be married with you. Gordon brings up a good point. What are these children going to think when it comes to relationships or marriage? And I got Mia's point when she said, I want my kids to know their worth and to know when it's okay to get out of something that's, no longer serving you. Absolutely. But there is a right way. There's a wrong way. And Mia, what you're doing is very, very wrong, ma'am. And you can try to deflect and go low on these other women when they question you because they're all mothers too. The whole thing with Jeremiah and the paternity, you've all but said that Gordon's the father. So why even let this go further? Why put that baby through a paternity test? Why talk about it on international TV? I won't even say national. It's international, y'all. If Juju's 7, Jeremiah's got to be at least 9. Just disgusting, y'all. Disgusting. My thoughts are, we're going to, like Dr. Heavenly says, we're going to pray through it. I just don't know why she thinks that is going to keep her. I mean, yeah, we're here talking about it in the recap and we're all talking about it, but I just think it is not for Real Housewives. That is very low for a storyline. And I know, and I believe, of course, she loves her children, but excuse me, y'all. I just think that honestly, it's time for that storyline to wrap up. And she says, as the show ends, that she's going to pursue her divorce. She wants to put the boundaries on her and Gordon, and she wants to move on her life. She should have done that from jump. You wrap up one thing before you go into something else. And she even tells Gordon that Ink thinks that she needs to put some boundaries down because she's so worried about Gordon that she can't emotionally be there for Ink. Keep in mind, y'all, Gordon is still legally her husband. Now, if he was to have a manic episode, it'd be his bipolar. Or could it be that you're literally telling your husband that you need to back up off me because my boyfriend's getting mad? Slide in the comments, y'all. It is foolishness if I've ever seen it. Insane, honey. Next week for Potomac, though, we're going to tune in because Karen's going to throw her love party. And looks like Jacqueline tries to show up, honey, and that goes left. But Potomac is doing what Potomac is doing. It's better than last season, but it is not giving. We'll keep watching. That's pretty much how that episode ended. So now I wanted to give you some thoughts on Married to Medicine. I'm not going to do a full recap this week because, like I said, I felt like that was a filler episode because they are getting ready to do another trip to Orlando that Phaedra, Contessa, and Sweet Tea will be hosting. That's going to be the meat. So I will definitely be recapping that on next Monday. But this episode, we do get to see some more of Quad and her man King. Child, that episode was so staged, was it not? But he rolls up and gives her honey, a Rolls Royce, a beautiful white Rolls Royce with the bow on top. We find out that he's the owner of a luxury car rental business. So I don't know if he bought it or he's leasing it for her. Nonetheless, Quad is pushing a new beautiful white Rolls Royce, honey. And in that trunk, he had gifted her with a Louis Vuitton suitcase. Did y'all catch that tea that they've been to Paris 3 times that year? So he was upgrading her suitcase situation. Quad is over the moon for that man, child. And he's a good looking guy. They look great together. Y'all catch the tea that now she's ready to give that man babies. And y'all, Sweet Tea, who is now jumping onto the YouTube space, just like Dr. Heavenly. I haven't really got a chance to watch a lot of it. I get snippets here and there. I know that she went there with basically saying that Quad was giving Gold Digger. But let me say this. And then I'm going to give you my last thoughts on where Married to Med is going and where I'm thinking. Look, I'm not going to villainize Quad for wanting a man that can match her energy. Quad owns her own beautiful mansion. She obviously has her own bag. Why are we so quick to tear a woman down that wants a man that has something? What's wrong with that? Nothing. Why would you want to bring children? And when she said with Dr. Grad, people are saying, well, now she's ready to have a baby because this man has money. Look, she wasn't happy with Dr. G. She said it was turmoil and strife. Why would you purposely bring forth a child in this world in a marriage you're not happy in? I'm not mad at Quad for that. And this is from someone who is not a major Quad fan. I think Quad is theatrical. I think that she is a little self-absorbed. I think she's good for the show, but I understand why the women kind of got sick of her. And look, and it's still not bad for Quad. Quad, obviously, her friend group are your Yandys, your Toya Wrights. She has a different friend group in Atlanta. You see it all over her social media, and I think that better suits her. And some people say it all went down when Sister Circle started, and she basically said those women weren't really her friends, and she showed all her homage and love to her Sister Circle co-host. And I think ever since then, she didn't necessarily get on the good foot with all the ladies, particularly Dr. Simone. But I sure am happy for her that she's found someone that she seems to really, really be into. Seems like a nice guy, honey. Like she said, catch all that chocolate between them. Hershey's has nothing on them. Beautiful couple. I'm happy for Quad. I'm gonna say this too, y'all. We get a chance to also see Apollo. I'm glad Phaedra's going back over to Housewives. It just makes no sense for Married to Medicine to have her on there. And then to throw Apollo in the mix. I mean, I'm all about a good crossover episode. I like to collab with other YouTubers and do collab episodes. Sometimes the two worlds collide and it makes for a good episode. But to have them on a full season makes 0 sense. In my opinion, yes, she brought fresh eyes on Married to Medicine because of the Phaedra fans wanting to see her back on TV, period, particularly back on Bravo. But did it help Married to Medicine? No, it did not. Okay. Phaedra did not bring much to the table last season, and so far not this season either. Y'all slide in my comments and let me know what you think. Those are my thoughts. I also don't see why it's a great thing to bring Dr. Contessa back. I feel like she's coming in as Sweet Tea's friend She has history with the other ladies, but Sweet Tea brings her in simply because they're both upset with Dr. Heavenly. And every time Dr. Contessa sees Dr. Heavenly, she has to bring up that they're not friends. And like they hug and embrace each other and like as if that's fake. And it may be, but it doesn't seem like Dr. Heavenly has as much of a problem with you as you have with her. And again, Dr. Contessa, I will have to agree with Dr. Heavenly that your beef is weak because the things that she said about Dr. Scott were things that you said on the show. And I mean, I get it. Maybe you can say it and she can't. And Dr. Heavenly gets her fair share of slack for her YouTube show and all of the tea that she spills on Married to Medicine. Y'all, her last recap, child, she got ahead on something that hadn't even been shown yet. Listen, if you haven't watched it and you really want some good tea, honey, sometimes Dr. Hev can get a little bit crashed out and unhinged, and you can get some extra tea that you would not get from a simple recap from some of us regular Bravo fan and YouTubers, okay? But I'm just saying, all in all, the last night's episode, Dr. Simone and Cecil over there in the grown boys' apartment cleaning, they need some new storylines. I'm not a big Dr. Simone fan either. Dr. Jackie. Every time we open, she's with the patient. Now she's an OBGYN, as is Dr. Simone, but it seems like Dr. Jackie has decided she's not going to let us into her personal life anymore. We're going to get the medicine from Dr. Jackie, and that's it. I think the married part of Dr. Jackie, she's keeping to herself. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but I'm thinking, come on, Jackie. And is it just me, or do y'all notice how she's giving us tips on all of the issues that Black women have while they're pregnant, or what just Black women that we have in general, percentage higher than other racial groups as far as with our reproductive health. We get it, Dr. Jackie. You've climbed out of the hole you buried yourself in when you said that Black women complain too much, and that's why doctors don't take them seriously and cry wolf. We get it. We don't always need a medical minute of you explaining the plight of African American women and how you are on the front lines. We get it, Dr. Jackie. Dr. Heavenly is going to continue to play the villain. And so there's that. Toya is she's Switzerland somewhat this season. So again, y'all, my thoughts is we're definitely going to keep tuning in. I love that Quad has a man. I love that that's going to get under Dr. G's skin because we're going to see that. So if y'all saw the previews, there's going to be more to follow on that. Dr. Damon, the whole thing between Dr. Heavenly, Dr. Damon, Letitia, aka Sweet Tea, and Dr. G. Dr. Damon, if you didn't cheat, you didn't cheat. I think you should stop giving Dr. G even any more of your attention. And I think maybe we've seen the most that we're going to see of that. Child Curtis apparently is going to drop in and out. Like I said, Dr. Jackie is only going to share the medicine part of her. The married is off limits to us, I believe. But they are going to go on a trip to Orlando on next episode. So I'm going to be tuning in, and I'll definitely give you guys a recap on that. All in all, I'm going to rock with them. I love Married to Medicine. It's not giving what I wanted to give. I'm tired of Simone just harping on Quad. I mean, either y'all gonna get past it or you're not. Dr. Contessa, I hope you come with something else other than wanting to make Dr. Heavenly your enemy. It's tired. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Those are my thoughts. And I just want, again, if you haven't yet already, please go ahead, give me the thumbs up on this video, this live, and then the replay. And then y'all slide in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking about Potomac, Married to Medicine. Are y'all watching Southern Charm? Just slide in those comments and talk to me. I talk back. I will reply. And as always, thank you so much for tuning in. And I will be back we will either drop me and Joey on Thursday or Friday, we're going to be doing Beverly Hills and Salt Lake City. We'll be recapping that together. It's always a good time when I do recaps for my Bravo bestie, Joey. He is great. So make sure you tune in for that. Be on the lookout. Go ahead and hit that notification bell so you'll know when I'm getting ready to drop these great episodes. And I did also want to let you know, me and my co-host Bria are working on a piece. We're going to do a good deep dive on the movie Wicked. You guys will not want to miss that. If you haven't seen the movie yet, please do yourself a favor and go see it. And then come back when we drop our discussion episode. We deep dive into Wicked. There's a lot we have to say. So as always, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I love all of you. Help us get to our goal of 6K subs soon for my Christmas present. Okay? Love you guys. Y'all have a blessed one. Bye-bye.